you just expect better. But that's also because your standards have been higher the last couple of years based on their performance.
I expected Penn State to win this game, not cover. I didn't expect them to blow a fucking 21-point lead.
Well, yeah, that would be the big concern. I get that, but
that's like if we get to see Penn State beat Ohio State again this year, I don't want it to be because we blocked a fucking field goal, and I want it to be because we went toe to toe with Ohio State and we just happened to make the big play at the end and drove and won. That's
I
what
can understand that. But I mean, I also think you're going up against a better Ohio State team this year.
I think we're also a better Penn State team this year.
Yeah, except for your coaching.
Except for the fucking coaching.
What does coaching matter in a game?
Listen, not even kidding.
Yeah.
When I was going through this season and I was looking at Penn State and no Trace McSorley, all right, no Jason Kabinda, we lost a lot of fucking talent. If you were to tell me we'd be 7-0 with a chance to go 10-0 before we play Ohio State, I would be shocked. I would be. Because I had predicted 9-3 for Penn State prior to the bowl game. 2 wins away, and we still play fucking Rutgers. And Indiana. So, I think I'm more worried, and this is going to sound silly, about having to play Minnesota than I am Ohio State. The reason I say that is because we know what Ohio State is. We don't know what Minnesota is.
Well, Minnesota's looking like the team that's going to represent the West at this point.
Potentially.
They
do have to play Wisconsin. They do have to play Penn State.
Right. And Wisconsin needs Penn State to beat them at this point to help them out.
Yeah.
Because Wisconsin may end up with 2 losses after this weekend.
Obviously, I'd love to see Ohio State lose. But I would rather have Ohio State win, because if Penn State beats Ohio State, having the win over Wisconsin makes that a stronger win, and then Penn State and Ohio State both have legitimate argument to represent the Big Ten in the playoff. And if Oklahoma falls even once, you're going to see LSU, Alabama, Penn State, Ohio State in the playoff, if that were to happen. In fact, if Ohio State beats Penn State, you still might see those 4.
Yeah, but you need LSU to fall, and fall hard.
No. I think...
Georgia already dropped.
Georgia's out.
Yeah, you'd need Clemson to falter. But Clemson gets such an easy ride because they're in the Big fucking 12.
Clemson's in the ACC.
Or not Clemson.
Oklahoma
is who I'm talking about. And furthermore, Clemson at this point. Although they've struggled against teams that they should fucking beat.
Like North Carolina. But I was watching the college football show, which I don't know why, the playoff show, and right now they've got Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, and LSU as the 4, but Kirk Herbstreit and a bunch of others that were on it were saying, we don't understand, where they're going to fall, but if Oklahoma loses a game, that's it.
Oh, they're out. The way what Oklahoma plays against, they can't afford to lose at all.
Whereas Penn State, Ohio State, LSU, Alabama can all afford a loss and still make it.
Well, they're also playing better talent. Yeah. That is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yep. So, we'll see. Let's get back to the scores because we're just rambling at this point. Speaking of Clemson versus Louisville, Clemson throttled them 45-10. Clemson, in a 35-point victory, falls back to 4th place. To number 4.
Even though it was a 35-point victory, if you watch the first half of that game, it was a lot closer than that.
Because Trevor Lawrence threw 2 goal line interceptions.
Right. Trevor Lawrence may not be as good as we thought he was based on what we saw last year. I think his team made him look better last year.
So, I know you guys laughed at me, and I was clearly wrong when I said Syracuse could beat Clemson. If Syracuse had an offensive line like they had last year, which wasn't even that good, they would have beat Clemson. Clemson's not as good as they appear.
No, Clemson is definitely showing some chinks in the armor.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Oh, yeah. Moving on, Oklahoma.
They could be the next big team to fall, a la Georgia.
I could 100% see that, Dan. 100%. Because they looked at times like they were losing control of their games.
Well, I mean, Boston College is going to be their next big threat. Then they've got the fucking absolute powerhouse of Wofford.
Nice. Go Wofford.
Then NC State. And then Wake Forest. And then South Carolina. And then most likely in the ACC championship game, they're going to play Virginia.
Look out for the Cox.
Well, took down Georgia, so maybe they could be the giant killer times 2.
We can hope. You want to know who else is a giant killer? Lovie Smith. Oh, man. Have you ever gotten a more shocking message from me than when I said Illinois beat Wisconsin?
Yes. 2 seconds earlier, my brother sent me the same message. 2 seconds before that, my brother goes, Wisconsin just lost to fucking Illinois. That was his exact message. I was like, what?
Right? Like, I was watching it, watching it happen.
Funny enough, I wasn't watching because I was at River Friday because the Yankee game had bumped the Ohio State game off of FS1 to Big Ten Network, and I don't get Big Ten Network.
With YouTube TV, you will.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. You and my dad brought that up. Keep rubbing it in.
No, I'm just saying, when you switch to YouTube TV, you'll get it.
I know. Anyway, I went to Rivers, so then on Saturday I wasn't really watching some of the games. I was paying attention to the scores on my phone, but I was watching Letterkenny because somebody acquired all of the seasons completely legally. So
with that sideways wink?
Yeah. So,
Letterkenny? Oh, you mean you were watching it on Hulu?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Oh, okay. Dan Antoni Sports does not condone piracy. Unless you're an actual pirate, then that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, then that's awesome, and I would love to have you on the show to ask questions.
Yeah, yes.
Not like a Somali pirate. I mean, like the Jolly Roger type pirate.
Does that mean we'd have to give this podcast a rating of R?
Yep. Makes sense.
That was really cheesy, but yeah.
Although
Dan and Tony, I don't know if I speak for the two of you, but we definitely support Letterkenny because that shit is hilarious.
I've never seen it, and I believe it's Canadian, so I will never see it.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Dan O'Shea will back me up on this.
If their heads aren't split in half, I don't believe it.
Nah, it's good. I'm not even done with the first season yet, but I've greatly enjoyed it.
Seriously, we went to trivia at Tipsy Moose 3 months ago, and you still haven't seen it?
I've just been watching it with my brother, which is rare. So
I've made it so far to season 5 in the span of a couple days.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Yep, go ahead.
Oklahoma.
Oh no, actually, that's the one thing I want to say. The Illinois game. 1, I think it was a look ahead. 2, I think Illinois has a better defense than a lot of people realize. And I think that's the reason they won that game.
I will also say this. I get really fucking irritated by all the fucking double standards there are in fucking college football. South Carolina beats Georgia, and there's so much parity. The SEC is great from top to bottom. But Illinois beats Wisconsin, and one of their top teams lost to a fucking shithole team. You can't have it both ways.
No, I agree with you. The hypocrisy is alarming, and but it's always that way. Everybody in the SEC seems to think that they're more important than they fucking are.
The only teams that have legitimate claim this year to being better than Big Ten teams in the SEC, in my opinion, are LSU and Alabama. If you're going 1-2, who's 1 and 2? It's Ohio State, Penn State are 1-2 in terms of Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
Penn State, or Ohio State, Penn State, and then I'd say Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. All right, so those big five versus the SEC, which are Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Florida, Auburn. Right?
Yeah.
The only ones I'm confident can beat their competitor. I think LSU can beat Ohio State. I also think Ohio State could beat LSU.
Yeah, I think if you play 100 times, it's 50-50.
I think Alabama would beat Penn State more times than Penn State would beat Alabama. In that 100, I'd say it's probably like 70-30, maybe 60.
Yeah, but then after that, I feel like the needle swings the other way.
I think Minnesota could beat all three. I think they could beat Florida, Georgia, Auburn. I think Wisconsin could beat Florida, Georgia, Auburn. And I think Michigan could, at the very least, beat Auburn.
I would say that they could probably beat Florida.
Yeah.
Although they didn't beat Florida last year, but...
Yeah. So,
I don't...
The hypocrisy just fucking kills me.
Yeah, I don't... There's so many SEC homers. Let's just go back to running down the line. What else happened?
Going to the
Everybody
SEC.
else won who was supposed to win?
Florida beat South Carolina on some bullshit.
Yeah, doesn't count.
38-27. Auburn beat Arkansas 51-10.
That doesn't count.
Iowa beat Purdue 26-20 in what was surprisingly a really good game.
Purdue is actually better than... Purdue, two teams that have been surprisingly better than they really seem is Purdue and Vanderbilt this year.
Yeah, Wake Forest. I thought Wake Forest was going to be an absolute fucking shit.
It has something
show.
to do with the black and gold. I don't know what it is.
I mean, Louisville? We thought they were going to be an absolute fucking dumpster fire.
Well,
they're 500.
Yeah, but it's also the ACC, man. Clemson and who?
Wake Forest are the only two teams.
Exactly, but there's
ranked.
nothing in the ACC. So okay, you're 500. Great. That's adorable. You're going to make a bowl game that no one's ever fucking heard of.
No, I've heard of them because they've got some really fucking funny names, like the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl, or the Cherry Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl, the fucking Idaho Famous Potato Bowl. I fucking love these.
Get after it. Come on.
But the surprising thing is how well Purdue has played without Rondale Moore. They've kept it close in a bunch of these games. Obviously, Penn State beat the ever-living shit out of them. Nevada beat them close. They beat Vandy. TCU beat them pretty bad. Minnesota beat them by 7. Penn State by 28. Purdue beat Maryland 40-14. Their 2 wins have been quality wins, and 2 of their losses have been close losses.
Against quality teams.
Against ranked teams. Penn State, that wasn't a quality loss. The Nevada's not ranked, but close loss by 3, and then to Iowa by 6. They're not good, but they're better than we thought they were.
Oh, definitely. Better than we had assumed in the beginning, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Back to the SEC, LSU took care of business at Mississippi State. It looked for a little bit like Mississippi State had a little bit of magic in them. But that wasn't to be...
That wasn't to come to fruition.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It's nice to dream, Morty.
It is nice to dream. Let's continue on. Dan O'Shea was over there sweating bullets as Washington looked like they were going to easily win the game at one point.
Oh man, I was just getting quite upset as I was watching that go down, and then all of a sudden Oregon just turned it back on, and I was like, okay, all right, we're in this.
Yeah, they were up 28-14 in the third quarter, then up by 10 late in the third quarter. Yeah, and then Oregon somehow held them scoreless in the fourth. Excuse me. Well, yeah, Oregon.
Yeah, defense stepped up. Offense got its crap together, so it was a great come from behind win.
Oregon literally, for right now only,